This video will walk you through what to expect if you report a sexual assault. Before we explain what to expect if you report a sexual assault, let's talk about the two types of advocates you may work with during this process. Most survivors work with both. Community advocates hold privilege, which means by law, they cannot share your information with anyone without your consent or the judge's order. A community advocate provides services whether you report the sexual assault or not. They will provide free services not only to direct victims but also to secondary victims such as children, partners, parents, and guardians. They also have a 24-hour crisis line available. And when you decide to start services, it's on your time when you start and when you end.
A system-based advocate does not hold privilege. What this means is any information shared with the system-based advocates regarding the assault could be shared with the investigators. They provide services for cases that are processed through the criminal justice system only. Services are specific to you, and advocacy is specific in moving you through the legal system. Services are limited to the length of the criminal justice process. If you consent, an officer will come to you and take a report and arrange a sexual assault forensic exam.
If the crime happens in an indigenous nation, you would call tribal police to report it. It could take longer for tribal and rural police to arrive due to staffing and the distance they need to cover.
If you do not consent to the exam, an officer might call an advocate and ask them to speak with you. The advocate can only talk with you if you agree to talk with them. The advocate will never try and talk you into having the exam. Instead, the advocate is there to support you and will share what happens in an exam and answer any questions you have.
You must be able to consent to an exam. If you are under the influence, you are unable to consent legally. Under no circumstances will we move forward with the exam if we do not have your consent. It is always your choice to move forward or not with having a sexual assault forensic exam.
If you consent to the sexual assault forensic exam, law enforcement or a person of your choice will bring you to the exam. You also have the choice to drive yourself.
In some rural and indigenous nations of Nevada, we have a mobile SANE available to do the SANE exams. Suppose an assault happens in a county without a mobile SANE. In that case, you will either go to Clark County, Washoe County, or Carson. The goal is always to do what is best for you, and advocates will do their best to schedule your exam at the closest location.
As victim survivors, you have the following rights. Consult an advocate or designate an attendant during the medical exam or interview. Have counsel present during any forensic exam, investigation, interview, or any interactions with representatives of the legal or criminal justice system. Request to be interviewed by a law enforcement representative with the gender of your choice. A prompt genetic marker analysis and the right to know if the DNA yielded a match with another kid or a person already in CODIS. CODIS is the Combined DNA Index System. It's a computer software program that's maintained by the FBI of local, state, and national databases of the DNA profiles from convicted offenders, unsolved crime scenes evidence, and missing persons. Kits are to be tested within 120 days. Know where your kit is at all times and receive access to track it, which will enable you to track your kit.
Once the exam is completed, the advocate will assist you in completing the Victims of Crime application. You will also develop a safety plan together. In addition, you will be given a packet with resources and self-care information. We know it is uncomfortable when going through a traumatic event like this. You may need help remembering all the information you will receive. Everything you need will be in the packet when you feel ready to read it. If you need something else or have questions, please call the office of the advocate you were working with. We are here to support you.
You will never be charged for the SAFE exam. If for some reason you are transported from a hospital or other medical facility, Please work with your advocate to report those costs to victims of crime. Victim of crime compensation may be available to you to help pay any follow-up medical care, counseling, or other needs related to the sexual assault. It will also assist with costs of therapy for secondary victims.
If a sexual assault happens in an indigenous nation, Intertribal Council of Nevada provides victims of crime resources, services, and benefits to Native American families in need. The victims of crime intake must take place within 6 months of the crime.
Law enforcement will then investigate the case, and if there is evidence, turn it over to the district attorney's office for prosecution. If the case is turned over to the DA's office, you will be assigned a system-based advocate through the DA's office who can assist you through the court process. System-based advocates, again, do not hold privilege. Therefore, anything you say regarding the assault could be relayed to the prosecuting attorney. It will be up to the district attorney if charges will be filed.
On an indigenous nation, tribes can exercise their sovereign power, prosecute, convict, and sentence Indian and non-Indians who commit sexual violent crimes against Native victims. Please consider contacting your tribal court if there is one in your area, or Intertribal Council of Nevada for more information.
Please view what happens in a SANE exam video to hear our SANE nurse Nora. You are not alone. Help is here for you.
We are here to support you. Please do not hesitate to reach out.